All right, so today I'm here with my friend Johnny, and he owns his own drone business. Is that correct?
Yeah, I own my own drone business.
And what's it called?
It's called Jersey Drone Media Pros, and we're based out of New Jersey.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
So the company is mainly for providing drone and aerial photography and video for clients, and those clients could be anywhere from like real estate agents to construction workers, or just any company that's looking to add like another marketing aspect to whatever they're using it for, their website or for social media or stuff like that, or even for advertisements.
So, how did you get into this business? Like, what made you start Jersey Drone Media Pros?
Yeah, so back in high school, our high school, we used drones, and like we got drone training on it and everything. And so when high school ended, I kind of wanted to do something instead of just like work like a normal job. So I decided to just buy my own drone and just start it. And that's literally how it happened. I just bought my drone and just kind of marketed the business, and then now I just have clients, and it's growing from there.
So, what went into like forming the business? Like, did you have to get a certificate or like a training or anything, or like an LLC?
Yeah, so like for any business, you need to get it like certified, whether it's an LLC, a corporation, or anything like that. And mine is an LLC. But besides that, I had to get a drone pilot's license to actually fly the drone. So that requires going to like a local airport and just taking a written test. And if you pass, you get your license. If you don't pass, you gotta take it again. But so I have my certification to fly a drone, and it's pretty like it's a serious thing because there's a lot of like drone laws and regulations in the country and even in New Jersey. So you have to know all those laws, and that's why you need the license to fly it.
So, what about airports?
Yeah, so when you're flying your drone, you always need to check if the area you're flying in is out of the way of any airports. And depending on what the airport class is or the airspace class, you sometimes can fly, but usually you can't, and that's just because of the size of the airport. Like for example, like Newark Airport, you can't fly your drone in that airspace just because it's such a busy airport, and there's so many planes going in and out, and it depends what the airspace level is. And it's just something that you always have to monitor when you're booking a job, because you don't want to get there and then you figure out, oh, I can't fly. And to get around that is to get an authorization from the FAA, which can take up to months actually. So it's kind of difficult, but sometimes, if the job requires you to fly near an airport, you just can't do it, and it's that simple.
And like similar stuff goes in with like the weather. It all depends on weather. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so all the jobs are weather dependent. So, I mean, if it's rainy or if it's snowy, it's really not ideal to fly in those conditions. Not a lot of the drones now are waterproof. They're not waterproof yet, so it's kind of tough to deal with that. Plus, you wouldn't really be flying out if there wouldn't be an event going on or there wouldn't be construction going on in those type of conditions, so there wouldn't even be the need for it. But if it's like a little drizzle or something, I mean, you have to just like see what happens and just like play it by ear and see if you can do it or not. But most of the jobs are all weather dependent. Even with like wind too, you have to monitor the wind and see how windy it is, and it's a huge factor for drone flying.
So you told me that sometimes President Trump flies in the area. So tell me a little bit about how that affects your drone.
Yeah, so President Trump comes to New Jersey a lot because he has his golf club in Bedminster. Plus, he's always in New York, and so Bedminster is kind of close to where I operate. And it goes from when he's in the area, there's a temporary flight restriction for VIP activity. And that means you can't even get the drone up there. Like the software knows that there's a temporary flight restriction, so it doesn't allow you to launch the drone or take flight. So 30-mile radius from where he is, that's where the temporary flight restriction is. So if he's there, I can't fly it, and it's pretty much that simple. I mean, if he's there, it's not possible.
So like What do you think is your like favorite project that you did with the drone that you have done?
I would say probably a pretty cool project was I did a project with a paving company, and this guy hired me to the paving company owner, I think, hired me to pave this long driveway that he had, and his client had this really long driveway, and he just wanted the three different phases of it. So the first phase was like filling in the cracks on the driveway, and then um, sealing it up, and then finally paving the driveway. And it was just cool because of the landscape around the driveway. It was a really nice property, and it was just like it was a very long driveway. I'd say it was like
Yeah, I was
a
there
mile.
that day.
It was pretty
very
it was a long driveway. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he came with me.
So
and it was
basically, the
cool.
guy just hired Johnny to take pictures of him paving the driveway, which is an interesting way of utilizing a drone. You never really thought of that.
Yeah, because I guess that was probably one of his biggest jobs.
Yeah.
And it was kind of hard to see that with like a phone,
Right.
like just recording on your phone. So since it was such a big property, he wanted to get those cool aerial views for his website and for anything else he wanted to use it for.
So tell us a little bit more about like what specifically you take pictures of, like when you go out and like when people hire, like who hires you is basically the question.
Yeah, so I've worked with normal people that hire me or just looking to get drone usage for a party or something. If they have a backyard party, they'll just hire me, which is just like anybody. You know, that could be you, that could be anybody. It doesn't have to be a profession. But other than that, it could be real estate agents. So that's a big one because they like when they list their houses, you know, they're selling the house and they want to market it the best they can. So getting the aerial views of a big property or a farmland or a really nice house that has, you know, a lot of bedrooms, good architecture, and like a lot of square footage, it helps them sell it better with the aerial views because you get to see more around the house. And real estate's a big one. And then I would say construction's also a big one for a couple reasons because they like to see the transformation of a construction project. It could be going on for a year, and you know they'll need a transformation. I mean, they'll need photos and videos from phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, you know, all the way to the end, and that helps them see what progress they're doing and what they can fix, and it also helps with safety. So before the drones, the construction companies would go on like cranes and take pictures with like their phone or a camera, and that's just dangerous and it costs a lot of money. Instead of you can just get a drone guy in there and just have it done real quick. Some other people I've worked for are just regular companies that are looking to advertise their workplace. So
Like the paving company.
yeah, paving company. Yeah, it kind of falls under construction a little bit, but
Yeah, true.
same. Yeah, it's still a company though. But like even like a office building, they want to get videos for their website, and they could just want the landscaping of their building or just people outside utilizing the space that they have to work. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Kind of advertising. I know I have one coming up, and it's a car dealership.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So car dealerships, they have, you know, it's a huge lot that they have. They have a lot of cars. It helps them show the audience how many cars they really have, and I guess it brings people in because you can't get those views with a regular camera. It's impossible. Or
Right.
if you want to go in a helicopter, it's the only other choice, but no one's going to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I think I have a few other ones. I don't know.
You did prom pictures.
Oh yeah.
Like people hired you to do that.
Prom picture. That's yeah.
That kind of rolls around parties.
Parties. Yeah. I mean, that's really it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. So like, do you have a website that you utilize, and that's how people find you?
Yeah. So right now, my website is called jerseydronemediapros.com or jerseydronepros.com. There's 2 URLs, and it's basically just it's on, when people look up drone person near you or drone photography, my website comes up, and then they go to it and they look at my work, and then my contact information's on there, and they just want to see what I've done and stuff, and it's helped me a lot, because without that I wouldn't have gotten more than half the clients I have, because I come up right on Google, so it really helps. And another thing is the social media part. So I utilize like a few social media networks, such as Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and it really helps get the word out there, and kind of build a community around the drone business. Not really advertising, but more of like a community, so people can follow and like what I do, and it just makes it more aware to people.
It was really interesting. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thanks.
Everyone go give him a follow, look up his website, look up his work. Jersey Drone Media Pros. Thanks, John.
Thanks.